Well, this is Baruch here at the Tikkun Elevator Cola. Let me see what I got here. Whoa. Okay, this is the Sidur Rechovot Nahar. Now, you don't see this if you're Ashkenaz, and you will never see this Sidur. Nobody in the Ashkenaz world, other than the Kabbalists that are in the Ashkenaz world, and I'll explain. There are a lot of people that actually do study Kabbalah in Eretz Yisrael, particularly. Now, I'm over here in the United States. We're very far away. We're like 11, 12-hour airplane flight back to get to Eretz Yisrael. Well, I have an apartment in a settlement, which I didn't realize when we bought it many years ago. He said that this settlement was actually planted in the middle of an Arab village called Jabal Makaber. There's quite a few Arabs that live in that area, and this settlement is planted kind of like right in the middle of it. We have there a a view of the Arbah that's overwhelming. You're right across from the Har Hazeisim, which, like in the sun, is just like very bright and beautiful. And you have this view of the Arbah from there. It's just also fantastic. Well, in their Ashkenaz world, in their Ashkenaz minyanim, there are a couple of people there, this is Ashkenaz now, who are actually using the Sidur Rechovot Nahar. So my Ivrit is not so good. As a result of that, was never in Israel long enough to be able to actually get used to the language. So I know a lot of Hebrew, obviously, but that I didn't do so well. So this is the Sidur Rechovot Nahar. And we've been looking at, just a very, very quick review of where we're at up to this time, and only looking here at what happens when you say the word Baruch. It generates two different kinds of yichudim. One is a yichud penimi, one is a yichud chitzon. That's in Atek. This is a very deep place, he's saying. That's where it starts and goes to Eric Anpen. And these mochin from the word Baruch itself. Now, Baruch really is the language of Yesod. And Yesod is where life comes from. And here's the life that he says it comes out. This is called Asmav, Ab, Sag, Ma'u, Ben, those gematrias. And over here on the left side, which is the female side, you have, which is called Ben. My male side is called Ma, and this side is called Ben, where you have the name Kasa, and you have the name Kamug. This is the gematria of these names. And then we repeat it again. They come down. Oh, excuse me. They did that, and then they're going to Abba V'Yasos and Imet Devuna. So we're showing those, and then we're continuing on, and we have this Shalom here once again. The Asmab, the Kasa, and the Kamag, and then we have this. Now I think we talked about this, so we're not going to talk about it again. It's a little hard anyway. And here is the Yichud Hitzoni, where the Yud is on the outside, and it shows you again the Oros, and then it shows you the Kesser. These are Oros coming into Kesser, maybe, and then from the Kesser it goes down to Chochma, and from Chochma it goes down to Bina, and this is really what we call the 42. This is all of 42. You have 4, 10, and 28. That's the count of the letters. And then you add on the milui. Then we came to the word ata. It's another shilav. It's a shilav of the yud on the inside. So this is the shilav panimi. And we show av, sag, ma, u, ben. Then we have kasa, kama, kana. These are the male and the female oros. We have over here the av. This is what av, sag, ma, ben. And then kasa, kamag, kana. Then we have once again Kasa, Kamag, the 5 Gevuros, and Kana. All of this is light coming down. So it goes on and it continues on as we have this is Chochma, Manukad with the Patach, which is Chochma. Once again, Keser, Chochma, Bina adds up to 42. And then you also comes in here exactly the whys of this, I have no idea. But this is the Kavanot, he says. So why did he choose to bring us only the Milui? That remains to be seen. And then you come to the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. Once again, we're going to be dealing with these Oros, which are Menukiv like this. And then Keser, Chochma, Bina, the same thing, and the Milui. Next page, still working on the name Havaya. We have the lights coming from Keser. This is Keser here with the Komatzim. And then we have Chochma, Bina, Das, Chesed, Gevurah, Teferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. This is all light coming down towards us. And we see that in a deeper form, these are the Mochin themselves, the Av, Sag. Then he gets Kasa, Kamag. Then he goes Ma, Ben. And finally, at the bottom is going to be Kona. And then he gives you this, this combo, Yud K, Vav K, but spelled like this, which each one of the Hays has like a different possible formation. This is a Dalid. But over here, this is a hey, and this is the Vavs built like that are Hays, and they're like that. And then you say the name Yud K Vav K, or we have the concentration on that. It's all going there. Now, here's where we were yesterday. And today, well, we have Elokeinu. We're going to say the word Elokeinu. And once again, this is the Nikud of Bina. And the lights are like this. It's a Pasha, Amale, and Amale Damale, plus, once again, the Milui. Now, I'm not sure what the Milui adds to it, but I guess what the Milui adds to it, I'm just guessing. So, is that it's an extension. It's showing how things can develop outwards. Now, this is actually where we're at, and I keep reviewing this because, well, I do. We're going to say, let's just take a look at it so that we understand what the picture is showing us as best we can. Now, according to this, we have said, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu, and now we're going to come to this phrase, Melech HaOlam. I'm going to learn something by looking at this that we maybe didn't know before, and it's important that in order to bring down greater mochin, the highest possible mochin, and we're going to read what the Rashash says about this as best we can again. It says that you're going to have to go through the four in your mind as if you are actually sacrificing your life. You're giving your neshama, and we do this in this way. The Av represents skila, a form of death, the highest form. Then Sreifa is going to be Sag. Then it's going to be Ma. And then it's going to go, then the Nook is going to be Ben. So it's Av, Sag, Ma, U, Ben. And he says, let me tell you something else. He says it also corresponds to the concept of Yud, K, Vav, K. It also corresponds to the concept of Adni, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, and also Akia. Like this, all of these things. I've asked, what does it do? What is it doing? I don't know. All I know it's here. Now, on the other side, you have the 70, the name of 72. That's 72, and then you have its this is Sag, 2 Sags. Then Havaya. We'll have to learn how he's getting to this. And Yud K Vav K and Ma, that's the Gematria 45. And then we have a Ravua, Yud K Vav, and then Yud K Vav K. Then it goes on. So you had this Arbah, this is called let me go back one time. This is called the Arbah Mises based in. And by self-sacrificing, that's the concept in your mind, you're actually bringing down greater moment. And now he's going to show us. So what we're going to do is this, and now when we did this, we're going to bring all of this up because the first word over here is the alel. So we're going to get into it as best we can. So what are we doing? We're bringing up these oros. We're bringing them up. So he said the first is Keser, and then we have Chochma Bina Das, Chesed Gevurah Teferes, and that's a Hod Yesod. That's a Hod Yesod. And then we look at it more detail, and we say, well, this is actually the mochin. These are the oros that are inside of the mochin. So we have this layered effect, which I didn't draw anything like this. The layered effect is called kol tsama. Kol means kalim. That's the most outside part. Levushim, which are malvish inside of the kalim. Kol, that's the levushim. called Soma. Then you have what is called a Tselem, which is inside of the Lavush. And then you're going to have, this is called Soma. And you're going to have Mochin, going to be inside of that. And then you're going to have finally the Oros. So we're going inside and seeing that. And we see the lights coming down, and these are the Mochim of Sag. Then it shows you Kasa. This is the Gematria. Kamog, this is the Gematria. Then we add in, so why it's layered like this is why we're seeing it like this, I don't know yet. So Aleph K, so then we have, this is Kasa, Kamog, this is a Milui of that. These are the 5 Chesadim, 5 Gevuros. We're going to try to take on, and we're just showing you what we have here. These are the lights that are going up. They're lights that already came down. So what happens is, when the greatest amount of Mayim Nukvin that a person can give to Hashem. Now, Mayim Nukvin means prayers from the bottom. From our position here in this low world, with all the troubles we have and so on and so forth, we're bringing this up now. And we're going to go to Ma, Ben, and then Kana. We're going to fill out. These are all the Mochin for the Ma side, that is the male side, and for the Nuk side. Then, once again, La'alos. We're going to bring up the Salmon, and we're gonna go through the Rashash, the wording of the Rashash. This is Chachma, Bina, Das, and you could just say it because the Nakudas are different. So the Das always splits. We said that before. So then I missed that. So he says once again, Chachma, Bina, and Das, and then we have Keser. This is all Keser, level of Keser. Then we have Chachma, which is the Milui, and Bina, which is the Milui of the Milui. Now we've seen these formations before. And then we have just the Milui. The Milui here is called Mu, or pronounce it the way you want. It's 46. The Milui over here is 37. That's the Milui only of the Gematria. And then Yud Tes is the Milui of Ma. Now let's see where we're at right now. There's still more. So we'll do the best we can in the time that we have to be able to get through this. We went through a lot of review here. So here we have Av. This is number 72. Sag, 2 of them. Then we have, this is a combination which also makes 72, which is 45, and 26, which is 71. But in Sharabi we see that this is actually an aspect of 72. It's 72. And this is Mad, means it's coming down, so it goes up and then it comes down. And then we have Yud, Yud K, Vav, Yud K, Vav K. So we have all this is a Ravua, and we'll get into what it means and so on and so forth. Let's finish out the page and just get an idea of what's going on here. So this is the Av Ta'ak, very, very high Pneumistica level of light, which is represented by the letters. Now, in case I haven't said this, and we should know, is that the letters themselves are vessels. So imagine the whiteness of this page is actually, let's say, Ak, Adam Kadmon. And inside of the letters, then, it shines inside of each one of these letters and produces a different effect. So this is the Av Da'ak. He says this is the Sag Da'ak. And then between them, they make a yichud. Now, the formation that we're going to see here is we're going to see it more often. These are different shiluvim, but they represent that now the mochim are coming down. So they go up and then they come back down. Because what happens is, in order to produce new shefa, one has to be able to do this mayim nukvin deal, which is the Arbah misos they're based in. This causes a yichud to take place in the Roma Ma'alos in the highest possible place that we can imagine. And as a result of that, which is all mayim nukvin, but as a result of that, it causes different yichudim at different levels to bring the light down towards us. Now, considering where we're holding here, let's get back to our Arbah misos based in. I will do that page. This is a whole concept here. Let's look at what the Rashash says is going on I used to do this a lot because I used to daven with Svardim, and it's Svardim. I'm a Kohen, so I was able to do Nesias Kapayim every day. So as a result of that, I had a chance to concentrate on this when you're starting to make the birchos of the Kohanim. So once again, we're looking at here, these are the Arbah Misas based in. We're going to sacrifice our souls. This is our Kavanot. And then let's see what else he's going to say about this, because this is on the male side, this is on the female side probably, but I got to read it to understand it. So he says, the Shitas HaSodeh. Who is the Sodeh? The Sodeh is Shmuel Dweck HaKohen. That's his name. And I learned with Mordechai Shmalo one time, it told me that he's a relative. He's a Dweck. So these are Syrian, he's a Syrian. So that's a common name amongst the not common, but it's a name found amongst Dweck. So he says, the Shitas HaSodeh, he said, Mekuvanim Khan, the Mises based in, Daled Mises based in, the four different forms of death that we know from Masechtas Sanhedrin. And he said, V'yesh HaMekuvanim Khan Gam Kein Biruri Rapach Bocher Yivchar. So he says there are also, not only that we have the four Mises based in, this is called the Daled Mises based in, there are those also have a different kavanah. The kavanah is kan gam kein biruri rapach. This is also bringing up birurim. Birurim. I have this Israeli guy that knows this word. He says the birurim. He said biruri rapach v'chabocher yivcha. So maybe you have that kavanah as well. You're bringing not only the Arbah Misas based in, which means the sacrifice of your soul to Hashem, and you're bringing all of that up. He shows us the Arbah Misas based in. Then over here on this side, we have we have Av, we have Sag, we have Ma, and then we have the Shelov. It's a combination of the name the name Avaya, which is Gematria 26, and a combination of the name Ma, which is 45, makes 71, which is considered to be 72 in other places. And then we show the Rivua, Yud K, Vav K, which is 72 again. Now he said, V'yakaven la'alosam, and then the kavanah is like this. Your kavanah will be to elevate these, im shorshi naranchi shalo lazun, with the roots of your individual lights, which are also called naranchi, and they're going to go to Zun in its seals. Va'az, now that you've sacrificed yourself, you've brought all of this up, that is called Mayim Nukvin. Now let me get down a little bit closer. I can even get closer. So he said, Va'az, Niten Koach Bezun, power is given to energy, is given to Zun. Umavarim Gam Heim, Mibiruri Acharayim de Yasos, and they're also refining out Birurim that are coming from Yisrael Sabbat Tvuna. So which is actually a different aspect of Chochmah Bina. It's a lower aspect of them. It's not really an aspect, it's a parts of. Mechelke Kachba de Yasos. So let's look at Yasos. Yasos has 10 spheres according to the Rashash. And with portions of the Kachba, the Yasas, a Kolodim, Ema Rapach, which is part of the Rapach. Now, the Rapach is there are 288 sparks, which are trapped down in Olam HaBriah, Olam Yetzirah, and Olam Asiyah, and we're bringing them up. That's what happens when you do the Arbah Misas based in. Now, we're gonna learn this part right here, and we're gonna have to take it page by page. And so next time we'll take a look at it again. So he says, now there's power in Zun, Varim Gam Heim, Mibiruri Acharayim de Yasos. So they're all taking from the Mibiruri. Remember, there's always a Panim and an Ach. So he says, Mibiruri the Acharayim de Yasos, Mechelke Kachba de Yasos, and from portions of the very top part of the parts of which is called Yasos, a call of them Ima Rapach together with the 288 Tzutzim. So he said, V'yakavein, This should be your Kavanot. So now you went through, in your mind, you sacrifice this. And then we have all of these mochin here on the female side. This is the ma on the ben side, I guess, maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure. V'yakaven la'alos ha'mochim v'chan the ranchi. So the mochim, remember when you have a cold summer, the oros is the most penimistic part. Next to them is the mochim. But on the ranchi shenimshachol zun, so the ranchi that flows down to zun, Teves Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu. So we brought all of this shefa down. That's what we did previously, and we've looked at it. And remember, these are kavanos. These are not explanations. They're kavanos. This is what you should be thinking when you get to the Rashash Sidur, and it has these Arbah misas based in. And then we have sag, sag, and then we have this combination, which comes out to be, I think that this is the way it goes. This is the number 72. This is the number 63 plus 10 letters, which is 73. This is the number 71, which is 73 and 71 combined to make 72, which is Avaya, which is 26, and Ma, which is 45. That makes 71. And here's another 72. Now, exactly what happens with this or what we're talking about, but this is what we're bringing up, bringing down. I don't know. We'll look at it one more time, which is Yud K, Yud K. This is Ravua, Yud K Vav K. That's gematria of 72 also. So he says that here's the idea. V'yakaven la'alosam. So all of these oros that we have here, these mochin, they're actually mochin. Im shorshin ranchi shalo lezun. All of this is going up to zun. That's because we did the Arbah misas based in. There's nothing greater that we can offer to Hashem. We can offer to Hashem, he's saying, than our own souls. V'oz niten koch bezun. And then what happens is a power is given to zun. And as a result of that, they make a birur. That is, they refine from the 288 nitzutzim. They are able to bring out the real ore that is trapped, or the real kalim that are trapped. Gam heim mibiruri acharayim the yasos, and they're coming from the acharayim of the parts of which is called yasos, Yisrael Sabbat Tevuna. Kachbad, and when portions of the kachbad, which is keser chochma bina das, that is the top part of yasos, hakololim in a rapach, which is part of the nitzutzos that are lost. We're bringing them all back up. Okay, that's all the idea. It's so big. These are such big ideas. So this we're looking. We're seeing what he's saying. V'yakaven la'alos ha'mochim v'han the ranchi. So now the mochim are outside of the ranchi. The ranchi is inside of the mochim. Shenimschaz lezun, that are now flowing to zun. But Teves Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu, because all of that is a movement downwards. So you're taking all these lights, all these malchim, all the whole picture here, coming down towards Malchus. Shehem Asmab, which is Avsag Mahu Ben, and also Kasa Kamagkana. Also these lights, the male lights, female lights. Im HaMochid the Shlosha Partsufim Panemium. It goes along with the 5 Partsufim, which are called Panemium. What are the Panemi, the 5? Im HaMochid the Shlosha Partsufim Panemi, of the 3. What are the 3? Shehem Kachba the Hagat Dezah. Now remember, we're always dealing with Chagat. And the reason why we're dealing with Chagat is because Chagat represents Zer Anpin, also known as Katnas of Zer Anpin. So this Zer Anpin is not complete. It's not 10 spheres, it's only 6. And as a result of that, we're dealing with the parts of called Chagat. And we showed you the drawing yesterday. Let me bring it back. It's a little crude because I'm no artist. So this is the parts of called Chagat. The Chagat is going to be divided, as we said in the Chabad, Chagat Nai of the Chagat. That's how it goes. So let's go on a little bit more. So he said, "V'yakavein l'halos hamochem v'chan the ranke shenimschel lezucha b'teves baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu." So all that came down. Shehem asmab kasa kamagkana. So that's the different gematrias that we're dealing with. Im hamochem the shlosha partsufim penemium. What are those? Shehem kachbad the chagat ezah, which is the kachbad. Once again, this is the This is the top part of the Chagat. So now we're bringing the whole Chagat, the Chagat Dezah, V'shlosha mab, the asam. There are 3 mobs that you can get out of av, sag, ma. Each one of them could be a pashut, which is 4, a milui, which is 10, that's 14, and the milui, which is 28 letters, and that makes 42. So those are facts, the best I could say. So he said, umiluehem, along with their miluim, shehem mochin the shnei partsufim chitzonius, which are he says now this, you have mochim penimim and you have mochim chitzonim. That's what he says. So he says, shehem mochim the shnei partsufim chitzonius, which is the nagi chagat, the chagat. And we showed that picture a second ago, the zeranpin. And it's going to go together with the neranchi, the lechi, the ruach shebehem. Let's go over that because these are mind breakers. He says, remember, we can always go from the back to the front. So we could say we're dealing with the ruach. Ruach has a neranchi within it, and into that we're bringing the ruach, which once again, these ruach goes along with the concept of chagat, because we have neranchi is Yechida, which would be, say, correspond in Mochin to Keser. And then you have Chaya, which go along with, say, Chochma. And then you have the Shema, which goes with Bina. And then you have Ruach, which goes with Zerampen. And then finally you have Nefesh, which goes with the Nuk, with Malchus. So Im the Ranchi, the Nechia, which is the top 3 slots, the ruach of the ruach of ruach. So you have to see that, you know, how he's pulling this out, where he's getting this from. So and you're going to bring them up with the birurim of Kalim, the Urus, the Rapach. So I think this is supposed to indicate the Rapach here. This is actually 4 sets of 72, which is 72 times 4 gives you Rapach, 288. The Rapach, the Shlosha Partsufi Kachbad. We're bringing all that, we're building up that area. Hakola Nechitzoni is the Abiyah, the Tzilus, which is incorporated in the outer layer of the Abiyah of, let's get it out, Atzilus Bria Yisir and Asiya, that Tzilus. So how is that? Well, it turns out that every one of the Olamos has all 4 of the Olamos in it, so you could divide them up like that. Which are all related to this bracha, because we're bringing everything up to the level of kachav, or level of chabad. A mitzvah zu, the oraisa shehi bezun. So this mitzvah that we're talking about, the mitzvah zu, the oraisa shehi bezun, comes from the Torah. I'm not sure what that means. Shehi bezun. But that's what he says. That's what you're supposed to have in mind when you say this. A little longer shir, and we're only really touching the first page. So what we've had here in this shir is the flow of the light that we saw coming all the way down to Malchus. Then you get down to the bottom. In order to bring in, to keep the ball rolling, so to speak, you have to go through these Arbah misos based in, think of yourself as giving your life to God. And they go through Arbah mitzvahs, they're based in plus the 472, which is, now I understand that what he's saying is, and listen, I'm just learning it. I know maybe a little bit more than some people, but that's all. So he said, this is 72. This is 63 plus 10, which is 73. This is 26 plus 45, which is 71. Start adding them up together, and you see they come to Rapach. And this is a 72 by itself, which is the Rivua, simple Rivua of Havaya. So we're identifying, doing the best we can. This is Baruch Fleischman. You've been listening to the Tikkun Elevator Kola.